All right, coming in to week number 10. Already in week 10, and we got, I think, four weeks left until playoff start. Obviously, going with the standings here, McGill looks like he might be in a position to clinch, I think, after this week, honestly. That's what it looks like here. So McGill should be in a potential clinching spot here. Miranda behind at 7-2, Ethan at 6-3, me at 5-4, and then we got a pair. No, we got three teams at 4-5, 3-6, and 1-8 for Evan. Okay, let's get into the results from last week. No. Okay, so we had Jeeps versus Mirando. Mirando put up another gigantic week. Let's see. For Jeeps, the shining star was Kaimi Fairbairn, who had 18 points, while Mahomes must have thought he was playing golf instead. He had a measly 11 and a half. On the other side, Mirando had Brock Bauer scoring a juggernaut 39 points. In contrast, Jameer Gibbs of 212 with Gibbs putting up 5 points is pretty good there. Obviously, player of the week, Brock Bowers, 127 yards, three touchdowns, 39 points. For Jeeps, we Kaimi, Rasheed, Mark Andrews, and Jettis as his top percentage players. We had Mirando go with Bowers, Drake London, Sam Darnold, great pickup and start for that week, and JSN 17.7, which was under his projection. So, and also that was I believe, highest margin of victory. Yep. And we had a close one here. Less than 2 point of victory. I had Flacco exceeded his projection with 33 points. Meanwhile, Jamar had 13. We had Squash with 28, while Lad McConkey had 7. Top scores for me would have been Flacco with 33, DJ Moore with 20, Jacobs with 19, and Kyron with 17. For Ethan, we had Squash with 28, Marv with 19, Chase Brown with 17, and Amon Ra with 18, excuse me, 15. I think that was the closest margin of victory this week. No, it was not. No, it was not. We will get to that one right here. Pretty sure it came down to Dak throwing that pick on the last play. Hmm. Okay. Gallego, Jaden Daniels decided to show up and score 16 points. That was far exceeding his projection. Meanwhile, Metcalf had 2 points over on Andrew's team. Rico Dowdle had 27, while CeeDee Lamb thought they were on a coffee break with 12 points. Matchup play of the week, Rico Dowdle. Wait, who was player of the week in this one? Baltimore's defense. I didn't even see that. So we had Dowdle, Gallego had Monangai with 22, Jaden Daniels with 16, McBride with 14, Ian Waddle with 11. For Andrew, we had Dowdle with 27, Puka with 19, Dak with 16, and CD with 12. Dude, holy margin of victories here. Tony Weaver with another. Oh my God, wait, these games were, I didn't realize how close they were. Evan Channing Star was Sam Laporta, who managed to get 18. Meanwhile, Brian Thomas had 6. For Nihil, T. Higgins, overachiever of the week, racking up 29 points, while Tyrone Tracy had 6. Player of the week, as expected, T. Higgins, 2 touchdowns, 121 yards. Evan's top performers were Herb, Laporta, Dobbs, and Cook. And then we had for Nihil, T. Drake, Achan, and Diggs. Damn, you guys, I mean, margin of victories here pretty ridiculous. And then our last matchup was Brett versus McGill. For Brett, Shamir DK had 18 points, while Brashard Smith had a stunning 0.7. On the other hand, McGill had CMC who had 32 points, while Roma Dunze had a solid 0. That I did not see coming. McGill, I'll take the blame on that one. I bet his over in yards on that game. I'll take the blame for that one. That's what usually happens. Um, Player of the week, Dalton Kincaid, 101 receiving yards and a touchdown. So for Brett, he had Danny Dimes, 20 points, Genty with 18, DK with 18, and Tatum Bethune with 13. McGill, we had CMC with 32, Lamar with 25, Adams with 21, and Kincaid with 18. Another solid week there for McGill. Okay, waivers. Defenses, James Alec Pierce. I picked up Stafford, Musgrave to replace Kraft. Gallego went with Caleb. I think that was it, honestly. Not a lot of waivers. Yeah. All right. Into this week's matchups. Me versus Gallego. Um, Not sure who I'm going to start at QB yet, but I have Kelsey Flacco, Jamar on a bye. Obviously, Terry's still pretending to be hurt. I mean, I honestly I don't know who I'm going to start at QB yet. Atlanta, he didn't practice shit. Um, Pittman, tough matchup going against the technically number one pass defense. And then DJ Moore. I'm just not late. I don't see high ceilings for my receivers here. But I like Jacobs and Kyron. I'm still, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing at QB yet. Goddard's a good replacement for Kelsey. And then Warren. I actually kind of like him this week. I don't like ETN against Houston. I mean, Bill ran for over 100 yards versus the Chargers. So, and then I'm just waiting for them to say McLaurin's out so I can pick up a kicker. Yeah, not a lot happening this week. I kind of saw that from the beginning. Hmm. Gallego, we got Caleb home against the Giants. That was a good pickup. I saw that. I don't know. I went with Stafford. You had the waiver before me, anyways. Waddle home against Buffalo. He had a good game versus Buffalo last time. 14. Metcalf against the Chargers. This game could be high scoring. So, I mean, we got some people both in this game. And then Judkins is playing the Jets. They just sold out on defense. He'll probably have 200 yards. McBride versus Seattle will be a tough one. Seattle's defense is low key nice. And then Jordan Addison. This is could be a killer for me. I don't even think it matters if they have Pat Surtain. And then I was pissed to see this morning. Van Ginkel. I didn't know he was playing. I forgot about him. Van Ginkel. Bro, I'm pissed. He's filthy. And then so it looks like Bucky and Aaron Jones are questionable. Yeah. But I don't my receivers really scare me this week. I don't think I have enough of a ceiling. So I'm gonna pick Gallego, get my stats out. Oh, I gotta fill in for last week. Okay, so I went 2-3, not ideal again, bringing my record to 24-20. Okay, week 10, Nolan verse Gallego, picking picking Gallego in that one. Evan versus McGill. We got Herb home against Pittsburgh in prime time. I mean, this is where Houston can. I mean, they haven't looked that bad recently. I think it's more so because of their defense. But then we have Devontae, Brian Thompson didn't practice. To be honest, I have him in my sleeper league. I'm not even starting him this week. Stingley's just gonna shut him down. Um, Cook, I'm pretty sure he didn't practice either. No, Charbonnet, whose week is it going to be? Laporta, Dobbs. Are you okay? Henderson, Kareem Hunt. Okay, interesting. Miguel Lamar in Minnesota. That's actually an interesting matchup. Tet versus New Orleans. Okay. Rome. Will Rome bounce back? He's questionable. McCaffrey versus the Rams. I mean, I expect Taylor to get back on track with them being at home. Obviously, McCaffrey already played the Rams and he had 25. Kincaid's in a prime matchup, I think, and then Adams too, because they just throw the ball every down. Yeah, this is an easy pick for me. I think I'm going with McGill. Mirando projected 189 going against Brett. Brett's going against his arch nemesis. We got Danny Dimes playing Atlanta. Oh, this game's in Germany. Okay, gotcha. Wandale against Chicago. Chicago's kind of been railing on defense. Malik, and then Ibuka's back. That's a Brett needs that back. Genty playing Denver. Ooh, it's a tough matchup. Kenneth Walker, Gadsden. I really like Gadsden this week. Debo, obviously. McLaurin's out again. We know Daniels is out. Ferguson on a bye. Swift questionable. Moreno's got Hurts in Green Bay. That's going to be such a big game, honestly. JSN, I love JSN. London, will he get Sauce on the Sauce playing? I don't know if he's playing yet. And then Jawan Jennings, I know he scored last week. Yep. And then another RB duo here, Gibbs and Bijan. Bowers. Bowers should be good, but Denver is low key nice against tight ends. But it's Brock Bowers, so and then Vidal's been playing well. Never mind, he was dog shit last week. But unfortunately, Brett, I think Miranda has too much star power versus you, where I have to pick him, and because you don't beat him, so even if he was only starting Gibbs and Bijan, I might pick him. Andrew versus Nihil, this is actually a big matchup as well. Did they have the matchup of the weekends? The matchup of the week this week was Brett and Miranda. This is another big week for standings with matchups. Baker versus the Pats. I mean, Penix had a good game last week. Puka, is he going to play? It's limited, so he'll probably be good to go. Quentin Johnston, I'm just not sold on him still. Myers, will he play? I don't know how much he's going to play. Parker Washington probably will get more still. Dowdle and Mason. Love Dowdle. Not sold on Mason, but it is good if Aaron Jones is questionable. Kittle, I mean, Kittle needs Purdy to play. Like, bad. Him and Mac just don't. Mac kind of has like the CMC connection, doesn't have the Kittle connection. Saw Ramondre. Tight end. Okay, yeah. And then Nihil's got Drake against Tampa Bay. Dude, we need a Drake legacy game here. Keenan Allen versus Pittsburgh. Diggs. Okay. Garrett Wilson's limited. That's big. HN and Brees Hall. Tyrone Tracy, he got outsnapped by Singletary, and then T. Higgins is on a bye. I mean, I'm picking Nihil. Nihil's been hot. Nihil's been hot. So I got you this week, Nihil. I got you. And then that brings us to Ethan versus Japes. Japes might be in must-win territory here. Squash in Miami. Yeah, he's going for 30. Just accept it. Lad against Pittsburgh. I really like the players in this game. Amon Ra versus Washington. Marv. I just Dude, Seattle, they might have like a top five defense. Dobbins. Okay, they're playing the Raiders at home tomorrow. Chubb. Okay. I don't know how much I'm sold on. Who do you miss? Who are you missing? Brown. Brown and Pollard. Japes got Goff. Okay. Sutton. Sutton scoring tomorrow. Jettis. Henry. Bill. Obviously, yeah, Mahomes and Rasheed on a bye. That kills. That's a killer. Yeah. Pick and squash. Gotta go with squash. Okay. That brings us to players. How are we looking on points? Hello. We have Mahomes, Herb, Drake. Okay. Um, Bo Nix, Danny Dimes, Prescott, Hurts, Stafford. We have Jamar, JSN, Amon Ra, Puka, Pickens, Pittman, Adams, London, Shamir DK's in this. All right, are we serious? We have McGill with the top two, Achane, Javante, Bijan, Jacobs, Cook, Ferguson, McBride, Warren, Kraft, Kelsey, Goddard, Laporta. Okay. Fairbairn at number one now. Denver's defense still up top. Marcus Jones leads the way. Brian Burns. And then Brooks, Cedric Gray, Wagner. Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna do it. This was kind of a quick video. Haven't really had that much time this week to sit down and I don't know, just been in a rush. So this video is definitely going to be a little quicker. But I'll get back to the longer ones soon. But in the meantime, matchups huge this week. Big seedings for matchups this week. So I expect the standings to somewhat move. They might not move, I don't know, depending on how things go, but that's gonna wrap it up for this week. Getting down to the last couple weeks, everyone's gonna matter now. But good luck this weekend, and we'll see how standings look next Wednesday.